Okay, back to Euclio and his pot of gold. I think we ended last time with these will be cheaper than Gallic horses. So Euclio, thus it ut, the gods love me, thus so, that I, ego, gladly Lubens, would hear this, ausculto hoc. He makes great words, nimbus lepide, excessively charming words towards parsimony, and Euclio's stingy. Megalodorus continues, nulla, which would be a female. Therefore, no woman will be able to say, ad tuli ad te, I bought this dowry to you. Equidem, usually first person for quidem. Sometimes it's second or third. Because now you have much more pecunia, much more money there is to you than before, or what he had of his own. If you want to read it your own, just press mute and read it, and if you then need come back and see what I've interpreted if you need to. Anyway, Megalodorus continues. For me, some versions it's just mi, but mihi is the usual dative. It is equal mest, it's fair for me, to be given to me, purple and gold. Purple's a status of nobility, etc. And ancillas, maid servants, muloses are mules, mulians are people who drive mules, pettysequus are footmen, boys who salute to gerolos. These are like pages, etc., a bit like pettysequuses, but slave boys maybe. And vehicles which I can be carried in, qui viha. Euclio, ut, probably means how here, how probi, how upright, or how well he knows, he pernovit, so more thoroughly he knows, or knows well, these facts about matrons. These are usually married women. I want them, hunc factum, that he be made, or should that he be made, prefect of women moribusses. You might want to say of he'd be in charge of women's not morals, but morality or something. Megalodorus, now to wherever, quoque venius, you go, there are more of wagons in the houses, you shall see, or you do see, than in the ruroi, which is the countryside, when you go to your villa, country villa. Megalodorus, but even this is pulchrum, this is beautiful prey compared with which when they seek sumptuous, this would be a fourth declension, just means spending money. They stand with a fuller, someone who deals with cloth, a frigio, can't really remember what that is, an orifex, someone who works with gold, linares, people who work with wool, corpones, these are like, usually you get storekeepers. Storekeepers of Padagari, I think that's in Indusaria, that's like woman's clothing or something. Flimare, I don't think that's a violet, I think that's to do with the colour. Red, violet, carini, what's that, blue or brown. And Manulia, these are the sleeve lengths of shirts. I'll just stop and Google some things. Okay, let's have a go at these. A patagium. This is gold edging or border of a lady's tunic. So that's someone who works on that. Gold edging or border. And Indusarius is the maker of women's undergarments. The fuller is a cloth fuller. A canari is one who dyes, it says brown here. Okay, so that's a bit of a clue what all these things are going on. So this was the long sleeve, the Murabathri, something to do with India probably. Prepolar lintians, again it's some sort of cloth work. Kaliorari, can't remember what that is either. Suitors, these are cobblers who sit down and they make slippers. Standing here for more work are the soliares and the molocaris. So full on again, as we saw, was the dealer of cloth. They stand there and they seek this sarkanors. They're repairers or something. So I think some of these sell the originals, and these are the people who repair the works or something. If something gets a hole in it, they fix it. Okay, yeah, the Strafari, and at the same time the Sonare. They might be the repairers. It's just too many strange words. I'm not going to look them up. Okay, so bra makers, girdle makers. So you might think all these now to have all been absolus. Absolus means when you've paid something out. So you think you've paid all these people, and they don't. And then 300 Tracini. They're now seeking some sort of work or payment. When they're standing in the attresses are the halls. Something to do with a payment there. I think that's a woman's wallet. A man's wallet's a mansupia. Or maybe they're standing here for some sort of payment. I'm not going to look that up either. So the textiles of the edges of the garments, and the people who make little boxes. An ark is usually a box or something, like Noah's Ark. Okay, so they're let in, you pay them their bronze or their brass or whatever. Now you think these are absolute, you've paid them. And when it incedes more interfectors, these are people who dip dyes in things, saffron dyers, or some other bad dude. It's always a bit of a torture going on, and they're seeking aliquid something. And now back to Euclio. Okay, Euclio, compellum ego him. So get things like repel, compel, impel there. It's basically he's going to interpellate, he's going to butt in basically and say something. So I would butt in, except that I have metuam, except that I'm fearing that he will stop. Okay. Again, fear with a ut ne sort of thing. I'd fear that he would stop speaking or commemorating the mores mulierum, the habits and ways of women. So as it is now, thus I will allow him to keep talking. Ubi wan, to all the nougat-ending people, the rubbish dealers, people selling the rubbish, when these matters are all being paid out, saluta. Then at the end, postremum incedes a soldier. A soldier comes in, he's seeking a bit of money, a bit of ace. So you go, you think about this account with the argentario, that's literally comes from silver, but it's the banker that deals with silver. The soldier in pranstus, so prandium's a lunch, so he's eaten lunch. He's standing there, and he thinks he's about to be paid or given money, and then he disputes the account with a banker, and then it looks like the guy who pays the money, the owner of this house, who's been paying all this money, then even then, ultras he ought to give. So he needs to give more money to the banker now. So all these bills are adding up. So I'll just finish this and end it for the day. The spes of the soldier, the hope of the soldier is prorogated. It means it's dilated. It's expended on to another day. So I guess the guy doesn't have enough money for the banker, so the hope of the soldier goes away. So these sunt and others of this type are come with a great dowry. So many others there come with in Magnus Dodibus's. These inconveniences and intolerable costs. Okay, so that'll do it for the day.